Hello and welcome to CJC Adventures. Carl here, and today I'm in Dudley. We're going to do a bit of an update today on the Dudley Hippodrome. Of course, Dudley Hippodrome is scheduled for demolition, but as of 2023 this year, it's still standing. So we're going to take a look at what's going on, and we're also going to take a look at a few other things around Dudley, and just basically see an update on certain things. So without further ado, let's go and see what we can see. Now this path does lead up to the entrance to Dudley Zoo. This is the back part of the zoo. That's the tropical house, and just back there is the chimpanzees, if you like. But if you walk straight up, and there you can see the Hippodrome in all its glory. Not going to be there for much longer by all accounts. It is a sad day. Well, it will be when eventually it does get knocked down, I suppose. But things have gone on for a while now, a good few years, around about 10 years, roughly around about that. And, things do move on, don't they? It would be nice to see it opened again, but unfortunately scheduled for demolition very soon. Let's go and see just a little bit closer, shall we? So let's go. And a few people have sneaked in there. We're not going to do that, especially if it's under demolition. I would like to have one last look in it, but it's not going to be, is it really? Well, that does say it all, doesn't it? Danger, keep out. Yes, danger, keep out. Well, not much has changed. It's obviously decayed even more over time, and if you look, the doorways, they're actually in there at the moment, the demolition men. I can't hear anything, but they are in there. There's a van round the side and some trucks. So, well, by all accounts, they're getting the asbestos out first, and that takes quite a bit of time, doesn't it? And basically, whether they'll just blow it up or knock it down piece by piece, I'm not quite sure. But it's a pretty big building, isn't it? So we'll wait and see. Now, of course, a lot of stars played here over the years. A lot of people notably say Bob Hope, Lauren Hardy, but also stars such as Gene Pitney, Cliff Richard and the Shadows. You had lots and lots of people. I mean, Tommy Cooper, The Searchers, Billy Fury, and a lot of people probably forget those played here. And the last one to play here was Roy Orbison. I mean, Roy Orbison, the Big O, is massive, of course, in his own country in America and here. But a lot of people forget about that these stars did play here. I mean, he came here. Ken Dodd, he also coming here was Bruce Forsyth, when he was younger. So, can't forget those times, really. Well, if you actually look at the windows, or what was the windows, you can see pigeons. You can see one just there. So I imagine there's quite a few pigeons in there now, until obviously they do demolition work on the building. But yeah, you can just see inside just there. So yeah, sad days really. It would have been nice to open this building, and there goes the pigeon flying off. But yeah, not much left very soon. Now, the building itself in its heyday was pretty much like it looks now, and you can still faintly see where it says Hippodrome. But in its day, it was literally, bustling and, bouncing up with entertainment, and they did wrestling here. It was a bingo hall at one point. That was the last time, and that was in 2009. A nice Art Deco building like that. You would have thought they would have done something with it, but sadly, you know, times I've mentioned a few times now, they move on. Those shutters, those actually windows in the middle, blue and cream, and those three shutters, those actually windows. They're probably still there, the frames. But yeah, it was a nice building in its day. Yeah, last days of Dudley Hippodrome. Taking the last ever look. Maybe. Rest in peace. Looking at the other side of the building, it is in a pretty bad state. When they knock the windows out, you're always going to tell that they're going to knock something down, so because glass obviously flies everywhere, so they have to remove that very quickly, don't they? I imagine that part there is where they used to go into the stage area. Well, it won't be much longer now, and we'll be saying goodbye to a iconic landmark. Now, just down the way from Dudley Hippodrome, this is Castlegate Business Park. Now, there's everything on here really, as in restaurants go, and this was actually Dudley Town's football club ground. Now I remember coming here and you could still see the broken turnstiles, and all this land literally did stand here for probably way over a decade. I think they had trouble with mine shafts and things like that. I'm not quite sure why they didn't build on it right away, but you know, there's quite a few things on here now, and what I'm going to do now, just take a little look round and see what it looks like now, since it was a football ground anyway. Now the pub restaurant you can see there, that's the Harvester. Now they're all around, aren't they? Great Britain. You get them on like motorway service stations, and you get them near town centres and countryside. That used to be called the Boston Fiddle. And I remember going in there when it was like that. Apparently it's a lot better since it's been the Harvester. That did seem to go a bit downhill when it was the Boston Fiddle, but yeah, it's I have been in since, to be honest. I wouldn't mind one day. And of course McDonald's are everywhere, aren't they, all over the world, so yeah, pretty much not new to everybody. McDonald's, everybody's heard of McDonald's. If you've never ate there, well, don't mind it, to be honest, but don't go in all the time. Only occasionally, of course, for a treat. Can't beat a treat. This is known as Castlegate Way. Now, it's pretty sizable ground on here. Of course, to say this is the Harvester. But I might go in there one day. And I do remember when they built this, actually. It was it took them a while, and they've chopped and changed it here and there. But it's mostly the same as it's always been. You've got a Pizza Hut. I've been in there. Went in once. It's not too bad, actually. I was thinking about going in again one day. And there's a place here called Tenpin. It's always been a bowling alley, and it's quite good in here actually. It's got like arcade and stuff like that, so it's not too bad really. This has changed quite a bit actually. They've done certain things to it and added things, but it's always been a tempting bowling alley by all accounts. And if you go just over here, you got Showcase Cinemas. I've been in there on, this is the one place I've been on here the most actually, to see certain films. You know, I've seen some good films there. I think there's about, I might be wrong on this, I think there's about 14 screens in Showcase Cinema. I'm not quite sure, to be fair. I think it's about 14 anyway. And just next to Pizza Hut you got Nando's. I've been in there, went in there years ago. It hadn't long open when I went in there, but it's not too bad. And just over the way you got Frankie and Benny's. There's quite a few of those about around the whole of Great Britain. You got Chiquito's restaurant, bar and Mexican food, or grill, if you like a grill. And right next to Chiquito's you've got Bella Italia. They do pizza and pasta and grill food. Again, that's another place I've never been in, so I couldn't really tell you what it's like in there. But I like round here, it is quite beautifully themed, you know, you've got like the yucca trees and stuff like that to match what it would be like in Mexico and so on. So yeah, it's quite fashionable around here. It's quite nice, it's peaceful, you get a lot of people come here, it's quite popular. And as you come up to the path which leads you towards back round the middle, you've got this very stylish film reel. It's got there Frankenstein, directed by James Whale. Now this has been here quite a few years actually. It's quite a lovely structure. I always look at this when I come around these parts. The Bride of Frankenstein. To be honest, I haven't seen those films in years. And you got there the Invisible Man. If he knocks on your door, just tell him you can't see him. It's a bad joke. But up there, as I say, the film reel, and that's just to match the Showcase Cinemas right in front there. But yeah, lovely structure. It's got pictures of Frankenstein on the reels actually, which is clever, quite clever. Saying they're putting new things on here, this is the progress, that's another unit. I don't know what that's going to be, maybe offices, because there is quite a few offices on here. But yeah, they've just built that, I've just noticed, not took them long, wasn't here last time I come up here a few months ago. Yeah. Progress. Now one place you don't see so much of these days, but they are still very popular, is Burger King. Now if you look at every Burger King restaurant and you watch a video by Adam the Woo on YouTube, which I'm a big fan of, you can't beat Adam the Woo's videos. And if you look when he did the Back to the Future videos, and you look at the Burger King now, in what you see in Back to the Future with Michael J. Fox as Marty McFly on the skateboard, you'll notice now that every Burger King looks like that, including this one. So this could actually be the same one from Back to the Future. Obviously it's not, it's thousands of miles away from England, isn't it, in California. But this does actually, like every Burger King really nowadays, look the same as the Back to the Future one, which is still there, and you can see that on Adam the Woo's videos, so go check out his channel. And of course just there you got KFC. I do like that KFC, I've been in a few times. In most places aren't they, KFC. You got Costa Coffee, and you got the Hungry Horse and Dudley Castle in the background. Well, hope you've enjoyed this update on the demolition of Dudley Hippodrome and a tour of Castlegate Business Park. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. Please subscribe, click on the subscribe icon, then the bell. You'll be notified when each video is uploaded. And do feel free to share any video with a friend or a relative or someone you know from CJC Adventures. Until next time, goodbye for now.